All right, hey everybody, it's Michael.
And Nick.
And this is the Codex Comics podcast. I think we're at episode 17 now. We had a little bit of a holiday break going on. So it's been a while. We got some stuff to catch up on this week. This week was a little bit of a lighter week. Some cool stuff happening at Marvel. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of stuff to catch up on. I mean, like, over the holiday break that we took, I mean, we had Doomsday Clock, and we had Metal, we had Hawkman Lost. I mean, when DC has two events going on, I mean, it gets kind of crazy.
Well,
there.
Actually, when DC and Marvel decide to do two different events on the same day, that's bad.
Well, yeah, because oh my, yeah. I mean, well, and then like, I mean, me being more of a DC guy anyway, we got Doomsday Clock, we had Metal, we had the Super Sons of Tomorrow, which I still haven't got to talk about yet. So it's been a little bit crazy. So yeah, so let's just start. I mean, so Avengers 675, the No Surrender, the weekly story that's been happening, that just started today.
Yeah. We got 16 parts of it here coming, I think.
That's a bit crazy.
I'm like, are you trying to do like a new 52 Futures End or something?
Well, I'm excited because, like, here's the thing. Marvel has a hard time getting monthly book events out. Yep. So now they're going to try 16 books in 16 weeks. Let's see. No, I'm excited. I think it's a really cool way. I don't know, like, weekly books are kind of hit and miss sometimes, but I think that, like, they're not doing 52 weeks. They're doing 16 for a really cool, like, event. I think it's really exciting.
Well, the problem that DC had with their 52 books, the problem was the stories got too stretched out.
Yeah.
And the problem was, even though they were coming out every week, it's like, I skipped certain stories in there because I'm like, this has no bearing whatsoever on anything.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing, like, I think even 16 might be a little bit much, but it's really exciting to me because it's one of those things for, like, I know a lot of times with events, you trade weight.
Yes, like X-Men Gold, which I'm glad I trade weighted for because that was like the...
Yeah, but I know, like, a lot of people, like, with Doomsday Clock are probably going to trade weight. But, but when you're doing these 16 issues in 16 weeks, like, you go into the store every week and you pick up an issue. And, like, so you're not waiting forever. I mean, like, with Doomsday Clock, I'm glad it's once a month. But, like, at the end of every issue, I can't wait for the next month. Mm-hmm. But, like, with this Avengers thing, if you're a really big Avengers fan and you like what's happening, every week you've got the next part of it.
Oh, yeah, and also we have a new character in there, too, that supposedly has been around since the 60s, but...
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
And they pulled a Captain America, and basically they're like, we forgot that this person existed, and now we're going to put this person back. Yeah,
it's really weird, and I'm wondering about the overall scheme of things that Marvel's planning with this legacy. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have 3 people with Infinity Stones. Wolverine, Captain Marvel, and Star-Lord. And I think they're doing some sort of Infinity Countdown or something.
No, I didn't know those 2 other people had stones.
Yeah, I think I'll have to show you the image that Marvel released with it. I think pretty sure that's part of the reason why, like, the Guardians series is actually coming to an end at, like, 150. That was, like, the last issue.
Yeah, and then they're going to Adam Warlock or something.
Yeah, and I think it's just with the stuff with Star-Lord and having Infinity Stone and tying into this whole big thing that Marvel's doing. And it's exciting. I mean, like, talking about DC again, but I love the fact that, like, Rebirth... Doomsday Clock is an event within an event. Like, I mean, Rebirth is an event. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a company-wide event that involves everything. And I love that. That's why I read comic books. I want everything to be tied together.
Oh, gotta love continuity.
Like, I want stuff from the 60s to show up.
I wish.
And, like, that's what I think's so fun about that Marvel's copying DC in a way. Where, like, we can have this legacy be an entire company-wide event where everything matters in every book.
Yeah, and by the way, this new character is called Voyager.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, and,
They're establishing that she was a founding member of the Avengers?
Yeah, she was a founding member of the Avengers that they just so happened to forget about.
Yeah, but right there, we have a really cool mystery that was started in Legacy, and we're getting an answer to it already, which is much different than what DC does, where, like, I mean, look at Mr. Oz. Mr. Oz showed up 3 years ago, and we just got the answer to who that was. Mm-hmm. So I think it's cool that Marvel is like, here was this mystery, here comes the answer. I mean, we might not even get the answers yet. They might just be like, here she is,
Or we could get a new character.
I hope so. I love new characters.
Or they'll pull another thing and just make her the bad guy of the story. The tragic...
Like, well, what they did to me with Jason and Wonder Woman?
Yeah, they'll pull a tragic hero or something.
I'm really mad. But no, I love new characters so much. We need new characters. Give me an X-Men book just with only new characters. I might actually check in that X-Men story.
Actually, X-Men Red might be where you're going.
Well, yeah, but Jean Grey's there. Resurrected Jean Grey, which is weird.
Well, Resurrected Jean Grey and Nightcrawler and Namor, and just the weirdest cast of characters that I
do like Nightcrawler. I like Nightcrawler a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I want to check that out. I need to start getting into some X-Men stuff, especially if it's going to start being in the cinematic universe with Marvel. Because, like, here's the thing. I know a lot about comic books, but, like, X-Men's one of those things I don't know much about. So, like, I have to be able to, like, school all my friends in, like, comic book knowledge, and I'll need to know about a little bit more about X-Men first.
Yep.
But no, yeah, this Avengers stuff's really cool. I'm actually really excited for it. Which I mean, like, I get excited for Marvel books, but not on the level where, like, I'm breaking down the door at the shop to get Doomsday Clock.
I was waiting for that phone call at like 12 o'clock. Like, where's my copy of Doomsday Clock?
Trust me. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just I love seeing these huge events. I don't know, like, I know people got kind of sick of Marvel doing a summer event every year, but that's the kind of stuff why I read comic books.
The multi-month things are cool, but, like, don't do them every year.
No,
wait. Let them build. Let them, like, mature.
Yeah, the problem that Marvel had a year ago was they forced themselves to have events every summer. They didn't just let them flow through the story.
Maybe they need to let go. They need to learn to let go.
No, they do, but cash grab. But no, yeah, I think some of this stuff's exciting. Avengers is exciting. Venom Inc. Venom Inc.'s been really enjoyable. The Venom title, I can't believe how good the Venom title is. Captain America fought Kraven.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
That was a little goofy. Like, I looked through that, I'm like...
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay. Captain America is goofy. But let's be honest.
All right.
So everything is just kind of cool. I mean, like, some of the DC stuff's been getting real goofy.
That too. One title in particular that we used to love. Now it's like, ugh, you know?
Yeah, Green Lanterns, I don't know. I just think they had a really good team on that, and I wish they would have stayed with it. I think that's that series' problem. I mean, because look at, like, Action and Superman. I mean, they've had pretty much the same team since the start of Rebirth. I think Green Lanterns really worked well with the team they started with, but I don't know. Titans 19. Now, you were telling me a little bit about it earlier.
Well, Titans is like my all-time favorite in DC Comics.
Is this the one where the Justice League's like, no more? Yes. Or is that the next issue?
No, that's this one.
Did you get a variant then?
No, this is the actual cover.
I don't remember the cover looking like that.
The cover basically is Donna Troy kneeling in front of Wonder Woman, and it looks kind of like a trial, sort of. You got Batman, Aquaman, and Flash on the one side, and on the other side you have basically their sidekicks. You have Nightwing.
What's his name?
Aqualad and...
But I thought the other guy... Whatever. That's... Alright. Fine.
Tempest. I think he's called Tempest.
Okay.
And then Wally West Flash. Well, or Kid Flash, or whatever you want to call him. But this issue, it's like... It shows how huge... Like, I feel so bad that I'm going to say this, but I can't believe I'm saying this. But the Justice League are, like, emotionless people at this point.
Well, I mean, we established that in the New 52.
Okay, Flash had a little bit of a heart. Flash and Superman were there, and they had a little bit of a heart, but it's like Wonder Woman. Like, come on, grow a heart.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Batman's there, like, I'm like, dude, lay off, man.
Like, that's the thing, like, that's pretty much what the New 52 established, was that, like, the Justice League was just emotionless drones. Like, even Superman was. And I think the one thing that Rebirth should have done better, is made Titans a twice-a-month book, like Justice League, and we really should have...
No.
No, but hear me out. We really should have juxtaposed those two series better. To show, like, the Justice League versus, like, the next generation Justice League, and showing that the Titans are the way the Justice League is supposed to be, but we just haven't had that.
Mm-hmm. That's what this issue did feel like. Like, the Titans like, it reminded me of, for those fans of X-Men back in the day, it reminded me of Kitty Pryde when she was like 14, and Professor X basically told her, "You're going to go to New Mutants because you're not fit to be on the actual team." And she actually gave him a very mature answer and said, "Look, that I sort of need to be on this team, you know?" Like, this is like the complete opposite of that. Like, all these, you know, I don't know, all these heroes are like, "You can't do this, you can't break apart the Titans." And then, unfortunately, Nightwing, Batman kind of have a conversation off to the side, and they're like, they were talking, and Nightwing comes to his senses. He's like, "Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if we just kind of break apart for now." You know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I haven't read much of the Titans Rebirth stuff. I read the first little bit, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked Dick Grayson, and I like Wally West. I mean, other than that, I don't really care about these characters. Really?
Well, actually, I wish they'd do the actual original team where you had Nightwing, Wally West, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. I don't know why Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy are on the Teen Titans. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, actually, well, I feel like Starfire is there because she's the oldest out of them, so she would be the more capable leader until Damian came.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my thing. So, my whole thing is, like, Tim Drake's back, right? So give him the Teen Titans back. Because, and I'm going to kind of talk about Super Sons of Tomorrow right now. Just because, I mean, there was a Teen Titans crossover, and I've enjoyed the Teen Titans title. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. But I just think that it's a time that we give Damian and John, like, their own team. Their own Teen Titans team. You get, because we can have John, we can have Damian, we can have Wally West, like, the new Kid Flash.
Yeah.
And I think that they need their own team, because it's weird that Damian's on this other team, and then, like, they haven't officially put John on the team yet, but it's really weird when you have this 10-year-old kid with Starfire who's like 20.
Yeah. I feel like, see, I wish I could say Raven and Beast Boy could go on this team, but in their personas now, they're not adults. Well, they could be 18. I don't know.
I'm not sure about Raven, but I'm pretty sure Beast Boy is pretty old. Because if you read the opening of the Teen Titans run, he's at like a party and he's drinking and all this stuff. DC's not a company to really portray like underage drinking in their teenage book. So Beast Boy obviously has to be older. So, like, it's weird to me that he's on this Teen Titans team.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
And the Teen Titans book's really good, and, like, Super Sons of Tomorrow was also really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, like, the first issue of Superman, it opens with Tim Drake fighting Batman and Superman, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's a greatly drawn fight scene, and some of it's really cool, and, like, just kind of seeing, like, this crazy stuff, like Tim Drake from the future is really cool. And then, like, Super Sons was fun, and we finally had, in Teen Titans, we finally had Damian admit to John that they were friends, and it was really cool, and, like, what I love about these two characters is we built to that point. Mm-hmm. We've had 2 years of their relationship, of them starting as just side characters in Superman, then they got their own series, and now they have this big event, and it's just awesome to see that we built towards this. Mm-hmm. And then future Tim Drake, gets an awesome new costume as the Savior.
I love that costume. It looks really good.
My only thing is...
Well, I am a sucker for black and red.
Well, yeah, but... So, a couple of things. I'm kind of upset. So, spoiler, they killed Tim Drake at the end, but, like, he's from Hyper Time, so I don't know what you expect. Now, what I would like to see is somebody else show up as the Savior. Because first, that's a really cool name. And two, it's an awesome costume. So I would like to see somebody else take... I think it's hard to have Tim Drake be that. Just because current Tim Drake is nothing like that character.
No.
And
he's getting there, though. He's like, in this Detective Comics, I don't know, he's going down that path. And
that's cool. Yeah, and
I'm like...
I don't really follow Detective. The other thing that Detective that I followed was the Lonely Place of Living.
Yeah, well, right now the team is like on thin ice. And it's going to happen here eventually.
Which is cool. I actually really like the Gotham Knights team, or whatever they call themselves. Or whatever he calls them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, actually, I'm going to talk about one last thing with Super Sons of Tomorrow. Like, the last page where, like, Tim Drake is falling into hyper time. Did you see that? Did you see all that stuff?
Yeah.
There was the scene from Rebirth with Wally and Barry hugging.
Yep.
There was Flash dying in Crisis.
Yep.
There was Superman holding Supergirl in Crisis.
Yep.
It was awesome. I actually wish that we had that issue right now to actually look at all the stuff and pick it apart.
Oh, man.
We actually should have done it. I don't know why I didn't pull that issue out, because it was an issue of Superman, so you have it.
Actually, no. I had to give it up.
Oh.
There was a customer who needed a copy.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, we actually should sit down and really look at that image one of these days.
Yeah, we'll pull that apart one of these days.
Because I saw it, I was like, wow, it's really awesome. So, moving on to Wonder Woman. 38 came out this week, but I think we're also going to talk about 37 that was 2 weeks ago or whatever.
We're going to back it up. We're going to go to 37 first. Okay, so we got 20-year-old Darkseid versus Zeus.
Which is awesome. It's awesome. Like, I can't even...
What more do you need?
Yeah.
But yeah, they do fight, and basically you see Jason turn back to the light. He's like, I need to help Wonder Woman. And it's like, it's just a lot of stuff happened, but not really. You know, like, stuff happened, but not a lot happened, you know? But anyway, so they fight, and of course Darkseid wins, and he takes the power of Zeus.
It's dumb. Darkseid.
Well, Zeus got a little arrogant.
Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That is Zeus.
That's like Anakin, you know?
Yeah.
You know? But
that's true.
Anyway.
So yeah, is Darkseid full age now?
Yep, he's full age.
I can't wait to watch him fight Superman for the throne.
Remember, Superman doesn't have the throne.
Well, he technically has the throne, but he gave it to, like, somebody else to just be, like, a figurehead while he's gone, I guess. Because didn't Superman agree to take the throne?
He did, but then he relinquished his power and gave it to somebody else.
Oh, I didn't know he fully relinquished his power.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, I think Jason and Wonder Woman defeated Darkseid somehow by shoving into a boom tube or something. I think. I don't remember.
Oh, I love comic books.
You know what? We're going to look.
Darkseid looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Justice League shows up?
Oh, wait. He just walks away. That's better.
That's so Darkseid.
Yep.
I would love another Darkseid event. We just had like 3 of them, but I would love another Darkseid event. I love Darkseid.
Yeah. Well, then Grail kind of walks with him, and then Grail's supposed to show up, I think, in this new Swan Song arc. So
Grail's just going to show up in every Wonder Woman arc from now on?
Well, she is technically an Amazon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
So anyway, moving on. Yeah, basically 37 was Darkseid winning against Zeus, getting back to full power, and then he kind of walks away.
So Wonder Woman just straight up failed at her job.
Yeah. No offense to her, but yeah, you failed.
That's kind of been a theme recently with some of these characters, is them failing. I mean, like, Wonder Woman literally just failed.
Yeah, like...
Batman, the whole Batman failure thing in Justice League. Superman technically failed with Mr. Oz.
Well, actually, I think at that point, that was a state of mind. Like, that was a state of confusion mixed with...
Well, yeah, and then he time travels, and he also learned that he couldn't save everybody, too.
Yeah, he's known that, though. He's known by...
But, like, I think it's kind of cool, especially leading into Doomsday Clock. I mean, I know Doomsday Clock, the events of that are a year after where we're at now, but it's kind of cool to see the theme prior to, like, the Watchmen stuff happening, like, all these characters failing. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Well, it makes the characters more human.
No, yeah, exactly.
Because you see Wonder Woman, who's, like, this powerful Amazonian warrior.
Yeah. I mean,
but she's still human. She can have mistakes, you know?
And, like, the setting of Doomsday Clock is so dark. And, like, the idea is that, like, I mean, we'll talk about it more later, but, like, everybody's against Batman right now.
Yeah.
In the second issue. And I think that's really cool, especially with what's happening in Justice League. And what I was saying earlier about shared universe stuff, like the fact that we're watching Batman fail, and like I think it's kind of cool that Wonder Woman just failed. Really, I mean, she failed, but like she really failed. Like she let like the most evil man in the world come back to power, like in like all of universes ever.
It can be justified by saying that basically her attention was more focused on her brother.
Yeah, which is awesome too, because Jason needs to become...
Which I completely understand, but...
Jason better join the Justice League.
What is the lesser of two evils, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have your brother hate you for, like, eternity, or do you go after Darkseid?
No, and it's that age-old thing of, like, of making a choice. Like, with the first Spider-Man movie, where Green Goblin makes him pick between Mary Jane and a bus full of children.
But he saves both of them.
He does. But I mean,
but he goes for MJ of all people first.
Yeah, it's always been a trope in comic books of, like, there's two choices that you have. So it's really cool to see that in Wonder Woman, too. And I hope that you were saying that Wonder Woman seems more hollow now.
She does. Like,
hopefully we can use Jason as a way to, like, bring humanity back to her.
Yeah, it's just... It's like when she's on the Justice League, she's, like, hollow. She's emotionless. But then when she's actually, like, with Steve Trevor and, like, you know, she actually has a heart.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just... It's like Injustice, you know? Injustice Wonder Woman.
I think a lot of writers have a hard time writing Justice League, though. Juggling that many characters.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. That's why we need Jeff Johns back on it. Or Brian Michael Bendis. Listen, there's a rumor going around that he's going to be on Superman. Which I'm kind of torn on. But, like, just put him on Justice League.
Yeah, because he wrote... Like, make it look like New Avengers.
He is what made the Avengers, like, a household name.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why don't we just put him on Justice League? But...
It's DC. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. So, back to Wonder Woman 38.
Alright, so the next issue, you got the Swan, or the Silver Swan.
Yeah. Which I've never heard of until today.
Yeah. So, Wonder Woman basically saves this girl from dying during an attack, but the sad part is her back gets broke because debris.
Because Bane. Because Bane did it. That's why.
I wish Bane would show up in Wonder Woman.
I wish Bane would show up in not Batman again.
Well, actually, he's in Batman Turtles now.
That's awesome. Cool.
But anyway, got rubble on her back, and basically this whole issue is basically... It's the girl telling the story.
Bane. I showed him an advertisement for Lucha Underground that looks a lot